Hi guys, welcome to Bark and Jack. I'm Adrian and today there's a really noisy horse going by. Today I'm in the stunning city of Florence, Italy. I'm going to be doing a Q&A. I'm going to be answering your questions you ask on Instagram. So let's get into it. Before I get into it, I just want to mention that it's my birthday today, and it would be a really cool birthday present if you just hit that subscribe button down there and the thumbs up button. That'd be awesome. It'd make my day. And the second thing that I want to mention, I don't think I've tried to think hard, but I don't think I've mentioned this before. But actually, over at barkandjack.shop, I sell watch straps. I've got leather straps and NATO straps, so jump over there and check out our straps. So let's get into the questions. And the first one is from Watchtower, and he says, Gruber 4Z handmade thoughts as someone who visited Roger Smith. I don't like to kind of commit to things before they've actually happened because stuff changes, but I'm actually going to be interviewing Gruber 4Z at the end of the month to discuss the handmade stuff. So if you have any questions, just check them down below and I'll be asking Gruber 4Z. Next question is from Jared J, and he's asked Black Bay 58 or Oris Divers 65. Most certainly Black Bay 58. The Black Bay 58 is an incredible, the Oris Divers 65 is a great watch, but for me, I see them as being in two different leagues. Oris Diver 65 is superb. It's a beautiful looking watch and from a cool company, but Tudor and the Black Bay range is just incredible. And the 58 is, I think it's going to be the peak of the Black Bay range. So Black Bay 58 all the way. Jake Zufree asks, what camera do I use to record in my studio? The camera that I use is the Lumix GH5, and the studio lens that I have is actually the Sigma 18 to 35, and I use a speed booster, 0.7 speed booster, which reduces the focal length of the lens. It also speeds up the aperture. So rather than the standard aperture for the Sigma 18 to 35 is f1.8, it takes it down to f1.2, so we get a very shallow depth of field. Getting a shallow depth of field on a micro four thirds sensor is quite difficult because of the way the physics works between aperture and sensor size. So that's what I have, Lumix GH5 with a Sigma 1835 f1.8 with a 0.7 speed booster. Lloyd.Sharma has asked, Sinn 104, yay or nay? 100% yes. I think it's an awesome looking watch, brilliant value proposition, and a genuinely good watch. Scott J. Gibson 85 has asked, in your experience, is 15% off Oris Longines Bell & Ross type brands in ADs actually achievable? I've not done it myself, so I can't speak from experience. However, what I will say is that this comes down to your buying skills. A lot of people talk about being good at sales or having good sales skills. This comes down to your buying skills. If your main focus to go in and buy the watch is to get a discount or to get a good deal, then it's unlikely you're going to get that discount, that level of discount, certainly. Ultimately, that person is giving you money. You're putting them in a position of power to give you money. You need to give them a reason to give you money. So you need to connect with the person from the AD and build a relationship with them. That could be a 5-minute relationship of you just actually chatting with them and being a decent person. I'm not saying you are an asshole, but a lot of people go with the asshole mentality of I have X amount to spend, therefore I'm entitled to do X, Y, Z. Treat the sales system with respect and treat them as a good person, and you should be looked after. And the level of discount that you get is simply your ability to be a good buyer. Here, someone has asked, what motivates you when you're stuck in a job that you hate? And I think, personally, you're gonna have to judge this on your own, but if you're stuck in a job you hate, then you really need to take action to change that. The impact that it can have on your mental state is really quite drastic. So you need to get out of a job that you hate. But for me, I used it as a motivator to change my situation. I think the answer is to find where your passion is and build something around that passion, whether it's a side hustle or whether you simply use that passion as a form of escapism. This channel started as a form of escapism. It gave me a project to work on, it gave me something to apply my creativity to, and obviously around a topic that I was passionate about, and then it kind of turned into a side hustle, and then it became the main hustle. So I guess that's the answer, is find something you're passionate about. Although I'm earning less now than what I was before, I am infinitely happier now because, well, naturally you're happy to work for free when it's around something that you're passionate about. And I think that's the trick, is to don't focus on the money. I think a lot of us focus success on how much we earn. I've completely changed. This is going to sound a bit, but I've completely changed that, and it's all around happiness. And how happy are you? And I'm incredibly happy, and therefore I feel successful, despite the fact that I'm earning less now than what I was before. I feel quite liberated. Okay, so the biggest thing that people wanted to talk about, the questions were dominated with questions around Hodinkee. So I went to a Hodinkee Grand Seiko event the other day on Monday. There were no questions about Grand Seiko. It was all around Hodinkee and what was it like getting drunk, firstly networking with Jack Forster. At the end of the Grand Seiko event, a few of us invited ourselves back to Hodinkee's hotel, and we went to their bar, a very, very posh hotel in Mayfair, and then ended up staying until about 1 a.m, just chatting with Jack Forster and some guys from Red Bar. An incredible night. We spoke about loads of crazy things. Jack is just, people talk about him being an encyclopedia on watches. He's an encyclopedia on life. He just knows so, I think he's just got one of those brains that just absorbs information, and he can just regurgitate it at pretty much a drop of a hat. We spoke about medicine. We spoke about at what point can someone in America register to be called doctor, and what point they can't. And we spoke about the same over in the UK. He asked what watch I was wearing, and I showed him my Grand Seiko SBGN 001, the quartz GMT. Got quite excited about that. And although I do talk about not needing validation from other people about your watches, it was quite cool getting validation from Jack that I had a cool watch. And he started geeking out around the 9F quartz movement. He asked me if I knew to what extent they went to finding the right quartz crystal for the watches. Turns out he knows a lot more of the extent than I do. And he went into a lot of detail around how they farm. He's actually been into the reactors that farm the quartz crystals. To be respectful to Jack, he did say he's not allowed to talk professionally around what he saw. So I shan't share what he said. But it is insane the extent that they go to find the right quartz. If you had to pitch how they farm and identify the right quartz crystal as a business idea, you'd think that's why. It's just nuts, the extent that they go. But it kind of highlights how amazing that 9F movement is, and I guess Grand Seiko as a whole. Literally last week, people are asking questions around Hodinkee and how kind of reliable they are as a source. The fact that they have connections with other brands like Tudor and Grand Seiko. I even mentioned that they could do a better job at stating whether something's an advert or not. It was clear from talking to Jack that he is just a fan of Grand Seiko. He might talk positively about what they do for Hodinkee, but that's not because he's being paid. Well, he is being paid to do so, but it's more so the fact that he's just a massive Grand Seiko fan. And that's why he was there at this event talking. I won't be making a video about the Grand Seiko Hodinkee event because it wasn't a new watch released. It was more of just an offering of, or showcasing rather, what Grand Seiko can do. I managed to get time with the Godzilla watch, and I'll be doing an article on that. But with regards to interviewing people and stuff, there's some big wigs over from Grand Seiko, and it was all around showcasing them and kind of the overall offering of Grand Seiko. In hindsight, it would have been better to go to the Glasgow event rather than the London one because it will be more intimate. But either way, it was great to bump into James Stacey and to drink with Jack. It was really quite a cool moment. The guys over at Scottish Watches asked, and I'm surprised they asked a watch question. Go check out the Scottish Watches podcast if you haven't checked it out already. They asked what watch was Jack Forster wearing. He was wearing a Grand Seiko limited edition high beat with the engraved blue dial, and James Stacey was wearing a modified Seiko SKX. If you get a chance to visit Florence, then do so. It's an incredible city. It's a beautiful city. The food's amazing. And there's a fairly decent watch offering. It's not massive, but they've got strong people like Audemars Piguet. They've got obviously Cartier, Rolex. There's a Vacheron AD just here, and then a few vintage pieces as well. And this is obviously the home to Panerai. There's a first Panerai shop and a Panerai museum. The stuff in there are really cool, and hopefully I can come back and spend a bit of time with them. Guys, thanks so much for asking your questions. If you want to ask questions next week, I'm going to do a YouTube Q&A next week, so look out for the post. If you haven't subscribed, then you're not going to see the post. So you need to subscribe so you can see the community post that'll go up, and you can just ask your questions there. Ask questions on anything, watches, YouTube, whatever you want. But make sure you subscribe, hit that like button if you like this sort of stuff. Check me out on Instagram at barkandjack. Check out my straps at barkandjack.shop. Check out my website, barkandjack.com. There's going to be articles going up 3 times a week now. 3 times a week, let's commit to 2 times a week. Twice a week there's going to be articles, proper articles going up there. And if you want to submit stuff, then just email me, hello@barkandjack.com, and we'll sort that out. Guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.